Good afternoon. This is Micah Mitchell with Crystal Clear Weather in Madison County weather updates. I'm going to cover two things quickly. I'm going to try to make this as fast as I can. I always say I'm going to be fast, and then I never am, though. So we're going to take a look at our clipper tonight and then the snowstorm on Sunday. I'm going to show you the HRRR model. I think it's doing reasonably well. And we can see this is by 6 p.m. this evening. Snow has moved through northern Illinois and is beginning to move into northern Indiana with this clipper. Here's by 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and 5 a.m. And it's mostly getting out of here by then. So this is a fast-moving. Clippers always are. They're fast-moving. It's going to put down a general inch, a little bit either side of an inch. Under the right conditions, some locations might pick up a couple of inches, but I think the vast majority of us are going to pick up somewhere around an inch. Here's the way the HRRR lays that out, and I think this is relatively fair. In Madison County, Delaware County, Tipton, Hamilton counties here in Indiana, probably picking up, again, somewhere around an inch, maybe up to 2 inches in perfect conditions, but again, most of us probably just about an inch. So moving on to Sunday, we're going to take a quick look at this system. First thing I'm going to tell you is I'll give you some numbers because people love numbers, but this storm is not onshore yet. It will come on probably tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening, and then the storm will start to be sampled. So keep that in mind with anything, any forecasts, whether it's for me or anybody else. Very preliminary. The models really are just guessing on what they think is going to happen. So you can't take anything for gospel at this point. This is just an idea of how I think things are going to play out. We're taking a look at the European model, and here we are about 7 a.m. Sunday morning. Snow is overspread the Illinois area, and you can see the pinks way down in here. That is freezing rain. The purple's kind of maybe a little mix, some sleet or something. But this storm for southern Indiana and parts of Kentucky, southern Illinois, they're going to have a major ice storm, and it's of all winter weather, that is the worst winter weather to have. That and brutally cold air, the two worst things we can get in the winter. Ice storm down south. I don't think we have to deal with anything like that here in central Indiana. As we move on into the morning, here's by 10 a.m. and then by 1 p.m. snow is beginning to overspread, kind of moving from southwest to northeast a little bit as far as the snow shield goes as the low pressure spins the moisture up into the region. And then you can see these darker blues. We begin to pick up some heavier snow by Sunday afternoon. And then it really becomes heavy around Cincinnati, right at the nose of where this transition is. But you can see there's still some heavy snow coming all the way back here into central Indiana as well. That begins to move out, and you see these kind of where it breaks us up a little bit. There could be some dry air working in. My friends at BAM have covered that. If you didn't see their video earlier, they're live. You should check that out. They really covered some things in depth. There could be a little bit of dry air or some sleet mixing into this. Again, the storm's not on shore yet, so we don't really know. But you again see the kind of dried out area. This is by a little after by 1 a.m. on Monday morning, and then the European never really brings any more snow on the backside back up here to Madison County. It just kind of gets it all out of here. So that's a possible solution. That's where I'm going to roll right now. If that fills in on that backside, then snow totals will be higher. So here is what the 6Z European has spit out this morning. It's kind of in line with what I put out last night as far as a very generic thought for snowfall, with the heaviest snow being I-70 and south. I took some grief about that a little bit last night. A lot of people questioned me or telling me that I was too far south of my forecast. This run might be a little bit south, but the 12Z so far is coming in. It's just now running. It's not far enough out to use yet, but it's coming in kind of similar to this. So I'll show you a couple of other models, and then I'll show you what I've come up with preliminarily. For those who want a northern solution, here's what the 12Z Icon, the German model, spit out. It came north quite a bit, and it's very heavy back here across Illinois, southeastern Iowa, northern Missouri, and then it begins to fade out some as it travels to the east, and some energy begins to transfer to a new low pressure along the east coast. But it's moved the heavy snow all the way up here into all the way up to the northern Indiana border with some heavy snow falling in South Bend and 12 inches back by Lafayette, close to 10 by Indianapolis. So that's just another model solution. Again, I don't forecast by the models. You'll see what I've come up with here in just a moment. The GFS is insane, but I'll show it to you anyway. It's actually kind of like its track, but this is at 10-1. It's Kuchera. Snowfalls are really crazy. It's bringing a foot of snow and more than a foot of snow across central Indiana. It does have the heaviest. It kind of splits I-70 just north and south, right along the I-70 corridor, and then tapers it off as you go up to the north. I kind of like the distribution, but I don't like the numbers. I think they're insane. Lastly, here's the Canadian. Again, I kind of like the distribution a little bit. It's got the heaviest snow along and just south of I-70, but it does bring decent snow up here into Madison County, somewhere around 9 inches or so. I do think it's a little too far north. That's just my opinion, but that's what the models have. Now I'll show you what I've got preliminarily. So this is kind of a regional view, and this is preliminarily kind of where I'm going with things. I've got the heaviest snow band, again, the majority of it south of I-70, but I did bring it up north a little bit. For Madison County, we're kind of straddling. The light blue is 3 to 6 inches. The purple is 6 to 10. Madison County is kind of straddling that. I really kind of think Madison County is going to be in 4 to 7, 4 to 8 inches the way things look right now. Again, sometime tomorrow afternoon or evening, the storm will actually be on shore. We'll get some samples from the actual storm. But one of the things I've learned over the years is whatever the model data is spitting out before the storm comes on shore, you can about take 25% off of that, just almost off the top. So I think Madison County, is going to be in 4 to 8, 4 to 7 inches, kind of lower amount to the north, probably 4 or 5 inches. Northern Madison County, 6 to 7 inches. Southern Madison County is what I think right now. And then again, you can see this purple band move across. I'm kind of toying with leaning this a little bit more southwest to northeast, but for now I'll leave us a relatively flat track. Down here in southern Indiana, they'll have snow to ice and then back to snow. And then down here in the red, far southern Indiana and a lot of Kentucky, they'll have snow to ice to rain, then back to snow. So they'll have a real mess going on down there. And in that red area, again, risk of a major ice storm going on down there. And to me, by the time we get up to like Marion, Kokomo, over toward Lafayette, 3 to 6 inches, and then northern Indiana, less than 3 inches. So that's kind of where I am on this thing right now. Again, this is extremely preliminary. Things will no doubt change. Data will change. Don't follow model to model. Models run to run. They're going to drive you nuts because they're going to shift north and south. And people always say, oh, the storm moved this way. The storm moved that way. No, the storm didn't change. The model data changed. What the model thinks is the storm is going to do is what changed. The storm itself has not changed, and that's why I try to look at what I see going on satellite, what I see going on actual soundings, kind of versus the data, and then some just experience on what these things have done before. So that's where I am right now. That's all we can go with. Again, don't take any of this for gospel. Still, we got another 24 to 36 hours before we can really start to feel good about any kind of numbers. So this is Micah Mitchell with Crystal Clear Weather and Madison County Weather Updates. Have a great day, and I will update you as things become a little more known.